birthday to you. It's week 8 of Camp Social Distance. Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna add everyone. HyperCast, where
Hi.
you at? Meh. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Star Wars Day. Happy May the 4th be with you always.
Happy 4th day. I don't know. I honestly don't.
It's been a fun day. Been a fun day for sure. Last night, because Disney Plus operates on Eastern Standard Time at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, was the finale of Clone Wars, and fuck me, it was good.
Oh, was it good?
It's a 4-part finale, and they did a really good job building up.
4-part finale?
Yeah.
So it was like 2 hours of content?
No. So it was the last 4 episodes over the course of the last 4 weeks were the finale. Amazing though, and I won't give away too much, but the way that they incorporated and tied into the Revenge of the Sith is very impressive. I was really, really stoked to see how they tied it all together, and it makes the Star Wars viewing order a little more complicated though. Just a little bit, because there might be some overlap happening. It's fucking good though. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that, like, as a Star Wars fan, I always had really hoped that we would get Clone Wars in live action movie form. And the last 4 episodes, and look, the whole show is amazing, but just these last 4 episodes alone really made me wish that we'd had this Clone Wars series in a cinematic form. Like, I think Clone Wars could have been a whole film trilogy, and I think instead of tackling Anakin Skywalker as like an 8-year-old kid, we could have just started with him being an 18-year-old who's discovered, and all the stuff. Like, there's so many amazing parallels between what could have been his story and a character like Ahsoka Tano, but their paths, how just different they are as characters, is fascinating.
I need to catch up. I'm way behind on Clone Wars, like 2 seasons behind.
I did a pretty big, like, kind of a binge-a-thon.
Yeah.
And I still haven't watched every single episode of season 7. I think I watched 5 episodes or 6 episodes, and then I knew I wasn't going to be able to get caught up in time. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. We all kind of knew where this was going to sort of end. We knew it had to tie back into episode 3 in some way. We knew that based on, for those of you who have at least seen Rebels, what happens with some of the characters. So you have a pretty good sense, but the detail work in Clone Wars is so freaking good. And I love what they did with Darth Maul so much. It makes me even more upset that he dies in episode 1, and cinematically we never see him again until Solo for a really glorified cameo. But if they were to announce like an animated series that was like Darth Maul based, then holy shit, there's so much to explore between episodes 3 and where Rebels ends up going with that character. It would be so cool, I think.
Yeah, I am not caught up. And I know that I told the chat last week when Old Boy won, which we're watching Old Boy tonight, and Adam's never seen it. I'm so pumped. So pumped.
Yeah.
I told the chat last week, you know what? I'll watch the remake just so I have a good idea.
Context.
Because I've seen the original so many times.
Yeah.
And I've never watched the remake because I've never had just like any desire to. I didn't know it was even made by Spike Lee.
Yeah, you asked me that, and I was like, I guess it is.
I had no fucking clue.
I forgot about that detail, too.
But I didn't. I didn't watch it. I had an opportunity to, but the Last Dance documentary on ESPN has been holding my attention way too much.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I know. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
I'm not a sports person, but I am a child that grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan was a cultural phenomenon. The Bulls in the 90s were a cultural phenomenon. And Malika and I both have been watching this documentary, and we both had very specific memories of sitting on couches and watching playoff games and with our dads.
Yeah.
And we were remembering exact moments.
Yeah.
From both of us being so young.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it was such a moment in time.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to watch.
To
watch it.
I haven't jumped into it yet, and I really would like to at some point. Now that the Star Wars obsession is kind of ending, I guess, for now. Maybe that'll be the next thing that I sort of jump into. I also did watch the first episode of Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian, and I didn't realize that it was going to be a week-by-week thing. So it's going to be over the. In that regard, I'm kind of glad that it didn't win yesterday or last week. I guess we could have just watched the first couple episodes of Mandalorian had it ended up winning. But I watched the first episode, and it's so weird. Kind of the same thing like Cursed Films. Cursed Films is also 30-minute little mini docs.
Yeah.
About each movie, and the same thing with the Gallery. It's 30 minutes, and the first 30 minutes focuses on the directors. Heavily focuses on Dave Filoni, I should say. But I feel like that's someone who really kind of deserves the spotlight after everything he's given to Star Wars. But it was great. It was really good to sort of get a little bit of insight into each of the directors, Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard, Taika Waititi, Rick Famuyiwa, and kind of emphasize, Dave Filoni's role in all of this stuff. And he told the story of how he got the call while he was working on Avatar: The Last Airbender from Lucasfilm, and the whole time he thought that someone was just messing with him, because they call and they're like, oh yeah, Lucasfilm Animation. Like, there is no Lucasfilm Animation. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, we're doing Clone Wars. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. You guys already did a Clone Wars with Gandhi. Who put you up to this? And then finally he realized, oh no, this is like really Lucasfilm calling. So he met with George Lucas, had a meeting with him, and he talked about how George was very much like emphasizing the whole idea of like what the Jedi were originally created to be, reflecting samurai and all that sort of stuff. And they had a really good 20-minute conversation. Dave Filoni said he didn't say much. He walked out the door, and George Lucas's assistant opened the door and said, hey, by the way, you got the job. You start next week. And he was on his journey to make Clone Wars.
You start next week. Go.
Yeah. Which is like insane. But they talked about a lot how Dave Filoni was such an integral part to helping Mandalorian get made, not necessarily from a filmmaking perspective, because that was technically the first live-action thing he had ever directed, but from his knowledge, his deep knowledge of Star Wars was the thing that, like, Jon Favreau in particular talked about. He was like, that having that was so valuable to us, because any decision that we wanted to make, we could just turn to Dave and ask, like, is this right? Would this motivate this character? Would this design be motivated by this culture? So I think that was a great thing for them to have. But it was good. It was good. I think I'm mostly looking forward to them getting into more of the technical shit. I want to see more of the set work. They showed a lot of behind-the-scenes footage, and you see how a lot of that stuff is created. And I'm like, dude, this is going to be an awesome documentary if it really focuses on a lot of this cool stuff.
I'm excited to check it out. I really want to dive in. I also need to catch up. The finale of Westworld Season 3 was last night. Yeah. Haven't seen it yet because I watched both episodes of Last Dance and then listened to an audiobook and fell asleep.
Wow, you actually slept?
I did, and then woke up to a world of stress. It's funny because I'm like, I need to go to sleep. I spent most of my whole Sunday prepping for this week.
Yeah.
Which we always kind of do. I built all the overlays, got all the graphics ready, went through the tech and everything else. And I was like, you know what? I deserve a Sunday night. I'm just going to watch some TV and then try to go to bed at a decent time. Yeah. I didn't even set my alarm. Which I usually always do. Because I was like, I got enough ready.
Yeah.
We're good. I woke up at 9 a.m., which is technically the longest I've slept in since this whole quarantine started, even for weekends.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I really needed that sleep. But immediately, I encountered the tech gremlins because our computer upstairs, though yesterday was great, and even though I swear I've got Windows updates turned off, some kind of update pushed through.
Yeah.
And it messed with my settings for everything. It wiped our Streamlabs settings. It wiped our Stream Deck settings. It wiped our Dropbox settings.
Yeah.
So literally, everything we used to get the stream up and running, gone. And because I decided to go easy on myself the night before or that morning and tried to relax a little bit, holy crap, was I under the gun to try to get all ready. And we're having audio issues and settings weren't right. And I'm going to try really hard to be zen the rest of the day because my stress levels were very high this morning. High to the point that Malika's not kidding. I told her, I was like, I'm this close to quitting. I was like, I'm about to walk out the front door. I'm about to hop in my Jeep and just drive away.
Drive to the coast and just keep going.
I'll be fine. You'll hear from me in a week. I'm out. I was like, this close. I was so close.
Oh, man.
Week 8, man. Week 8.
Yeah.
And, we're trying to do so much here with such a small team. And I don't want to, when it works, it gives me so much fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Like the new show, I don't know if you guys have tuned in yet, but Cookie Quest is a new show that we're doing.
Cookie Quest.
And getting that tech set up quickly and getting that show running all within a matter of a day or two after the idea came up. When it works, it's so fulfilling because it's like we are so limited right now and so restricted in what we can pull off. And when we actually do, it's awesome. Really rewarding.
Yeah.
To be we're still being creative. We're still pushing the envelope. It feels really good. When stupid stuff stops working and we just don't have enough hands to deal with all the different systems that are in place because we built this out for a team, boy, does it hurt.
Yeah.
It stings real deep. And, and I'm learning a lot about our systems and where we need to improve. It's a good and a bad thing though, because it's I am learning a lot about our systems and where we need to make these improvements. But I also worry about improving those things for this particular problem because this is not a problem that we should ever be replicating.
Yeah,
we should never be replicating having no crew. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's I'm figuring out solutions to these issues, but these should probably continue to be issues.
Yeah,
I don't know if we should fix the issue of having no crew. We should have a crew.
As we all slowly die inside.
But when it works, it's really rewarding.
Yeah.
And, but I often I know that lots of times we push hard because we want to make stuff look really good for you. And I know that a lot of people within the industry that we talk to, by the way, Adam, you're going to love this. It's really good.
Ooh.
It's really good.
I'm an egg guy. So
I'm an egg guy too.
This is my shit right here.
When it comes to people within the industry, we know people are watching us. We've had people private message us. We've had people hit us up on LinkedIn. In some ways, our industry connections are more impressive with what we're doing than audiences are.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys give a shit. To be completely real, I feel like we could just never switch away from this right here, and as long as we're live, the same people who are here now would still be here. I really do believe that. Our stats kind of show that we push ourselves harder than we almost need to because you all just want us to be live and you want us to be hanging out. It's so good, right? It's really good. But we have a really small audience base. You guys are absolutely amazing, but we have a small audience base. So we kind of do have to be riding this fine line of being live to keep you all happy, but then pushing ourselves on the back end to make all of our business partners and potential business partners notice us, even though audiences may not. Even though audiences have zero discoverability for us right now, and finding people to come watch our content that are new, actual people that we work with and people in the industry, they do tune in. And they pay attention, and they see when things aren't working. And that's where I get the most stressed. I worry more about people not understanding, someone that we might be working with, tuning in and seeing something that's weird and off and not understanding why, because they have different expectations and quality concerns than our general audience members.
Yeah.
When it comes to our audience, I don't worry so much about you all because I know that you know what we're doing. You want to see us. You want to talk to us. And it's just like doing the bike ride stream on Saturday. There's no overlays at all. It's just us going on a bike ride. And, it's the same amount of people watching that are watching this right now. You guys don't care. It's more about my partners that I worry about. I want to make sure that they don't tune in and see some weird thing and then be like, wait, when we work with you, is that going to happen? You know what I mean? That's what stresses me out to no end.
Yeah.
To no end.
Yeah. For sure, brother. I'm going to go through with you guys exactly what the fuck is happening here today.
What is happening today?
A whole mess of things is happening. I know we were scheduled to play a board game after this. Instead, Zach is going to play Gears of War.
And the reasoning is, again, when it comes to our partners and people we work with, Malika's really stretching herself thin too. She has a lot of expectations from other people that you all will never see. So much stuff behind the scenes that she as CEO. You know, I have some of that too, but she has it on a different level. Mine is usually more in regards to, like, you know, approving certain things or consulting or dealing with people directly on tech teams and stuff like that. I do a lot of that kind of goes unseen from you all. Malika's having to do a lot of spreadsheets and talking to different, you know, all these different types of accounts. I swear. So many phone calls. And we had a lot of stuff come up over the weekend, and she's got deadlines that she's got to get certain things out today. So she told me this morning she can't do a board game. There's just too many responsibilities on the table. And I hope you all understand, we want to bring you certain types of content as much as we can, but when it's just the three of us here, it's really tough because Malika can get pulled off to have to be on a call. I can get pulled off to be in a meeting, you know, and Adam's got a lot of responsibilities on his plate too on the back end. He didn't sleep last night. You know, and I don't want you to do that. I really don't want you to do that. When Malika told me that this morning, I got really pissed off because I'm like, dude, we're trying to create systems where you shouldn't be doing that. I don't want you to do that. We really don't want that to be happening. So we have to change the schedule sometimes on the fly. And because of Malika having to step away for some really important meetings, one of which I know when she sees the email I forward her, she's going to be so angry. And I hated forwarding it to her because our bank just sent us an email. We officially moved our company to California 3 years ago.
Oh, God.
We changed our address with the bank 3 years ago. We just applied with our bank and 2 other banks to try to get through for the Paycheck Protection Program and all this kind of stuff. And through that process, our advisor ever is like going through all that stuff and all that stuff. Somebody at the bank, now that it's kind of like our accounts having to be kind of like gone through the chain higher and higher, someone really high at the bank saw in an email where our address was and all that stuff and has now emailed us and said, hey, I just noticed that your company is based in California. Our account holders have to be based in Washington to keep an account here. It's been 3 years. 3 years.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, my God. And there's a... So, yeah.
Once you pop, the fun don't stop, I guess.
I know. And she's going to hate seeing that email because we have... Every time I'm like, oh, we got to get out of this bank. It's the worst. But it's hard. Like, when you're a business, it's actually very difficult to just... out of nowhere be like, all right, done with this bank. You know what I mean? It's not that easy. There's a lot of things.
Malika just responded in the chat.
Wait, what? Check your email.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, Malika. Oh, no.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. We've been... It's just like one of those things where I'm like, what headache is this going to cause now? Because we are not setting up like another – we're not. It took us over a year to close down Washington from like an actual like state government kind of standpoint with the business and everything and how difficult that was with taxes and everything else. And now the bank's like, wait a minute. Hey now, what's this I see here? Even though we've been talking to you from California for years now with your account holder. Mm-hmm. So dumb. So we have to make changes to our schedule often, and we hope you guys understand. So because of that, I'm going to be playing some Gears of War Tactics from our actual streaming computer. I set that up. I hope it works. Set it up pretty quick. We'll see. And I have to kind of do it from the streaming computer because I need to be there when Lucas starts testing Cookie Quest because it takes some setup. We have to do some screen caps and stuff like that. It takes a little bit of work. And Adam needs to rest. That's a mandatory rest after HyperCast until Old Boy. Mandatory.
So, yeah, we are doing Cookie Quest at 4. Then at 6, we're doing dinner and movie. And tonight's movie is Old Boy, which we talked about a little bit. Tomorrow, we're doing Cursed Films. My hope is that we can do all 5 episodes. It's short enough that it should only take us 2.5 hours. I feel like we watch movies that have been that long. Wednesday, the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, which we'll do on Netflix because it has the original language track. Thursday, Extraction. Friday, Hackers. I believe for Extraction, we're still working on trying to figure out whether or not we will have a special guest for that. We will keep you guys updated. For today's picks, I'm pretty pumped about. You can go to oneshot.storylogic.com. The 3 picks for today. Back to the Future Part 1, which I think was just added to Netflix, because all I saw before was Part 3. So 1 and 2 are on there now. So we're going Back to the Future Part 1. The Adventures of Tintin, directed by Steven Spielberg, and Equilibrium. All 3 are on Netflix, so anyone should hopefully be able to watch most of these titles with us, which would be really, really fun. So I'm really pumped about that. But I am excited that we're watching 2 things on Shudder this week. If you sign up for Shudder, highly recommend checking out a lot of the other stuff they have on there. They have really good movies, both domestic and international, new shows, all kinds of stuff. Really, really do enjoy it. There's one that I love. It's called Body Bags. I believe it's called Body Bags. And I think the first half of it was directed by Carpenter, and the second half I think is by Tobe Hooper. And John Carpenter kind of plays this like morgue. What do they call it? Like a morgue. God damn it! What do they call it?
Mortician?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be a mortician, but there's a twist, and you find out later on that he's actually like dead, which you can already kind of tell from the beginning of it. But yeah, lots of great stuff on there.
I would say for anyone who wants to watch along, if you have Amazon Prime, you can go to Shudder on your Amazon Prime account as a channel, and you still get the free 30-day trial. That's how I did it. I signed up for the free 30-day trial on my Amazon Prime, and just set a reminder on my phone to cancel it. 30 days is a great.
It's a great deal. Yeah, really, really good.
I wanted to add, Gavin Newsom made some updates today for state of California.
So, I was going to actually ask. I have no clue what the fuck's been happening the last 3 days.
I mean, California is starting to kind of level for now, but they're still really worried that a lot of the things that have been going on in Sacramento and at the beaches might lead to clusters. But because things have leveled a little bit, Newsom's saying as of right now, it looks like phase 2 for California will hit on Friday, which means certain people can start going back to work. What that means for us, from as far as I can tell, and these aren't, this is just guidelines that I'm finding that are circulating, and they're not really guidelines directly from the source, which is a big problem with everything going on with COVID. It's so hard to find hard, fast numbers and things like that. From the way I understand it, because the way we interact here, it seems like Lucas could come back into work, but our private contractor talent and other people coming in and out of the business is not okay yet. You know, and that makes sense to me. And, you know, I think if it just lifts enough that Lucas can come back in, that would be a huge help for us here. But it looks like starting as soon as possibly Friday, that could be lifting. And that kind of brings up a bigger overall question that I thought might be fun for us to talk about a little bit here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know a lot of people keep wondering, and we did too, when this first started now 8 weeks ago, in our mind, because this is how you have to think, it was basically like, okay, we have to do this. This is just the way things are. We'll eventually get back to normal. But the longer this goes on, you start realizing there's no such thing as normal anymore. There is no going back to.
Yeah.
No, things are different. And it creates a lot of questions. And we don't necessarily have answers yet to those questions. And I know Malika talks to our legal team at least once a week, most weeks twice a week. And these are questions we pose to our legal team all the time. And there's bigger overall conversations that are happening. Isn't that lunch good, though? Dude, that was great. That was fucking great. Bigger overall questions that are happening in regards to, okay, we have full-time employees and we have private contractors.
Yeah.
Already private contractor stuff's getting really interesting in California, but our situation is very unique. You know, we can't do 6-foot social distancing with our setup. You're sitting right next to people. So each individual that's coming in throughout a week. So let's say we have 25 different people come in throughout the week. What kind of protections can be put into place? We can wipe down the table. We bought a sanitizer UV machine to sanitize stuff. We can sanitize the headsets, things like that. But in the moment, you're sitting right next to individuals. You're going to be talking right at each other. You're going to be rolling the same dice. You're going to be touching all the same thing. It's impossible. It's like you are technically having to interact at a very intimate level in our business. Mm-hmm. What are we liable for? And this is the thing that we have to have conversations with the lawyers and stuff. Until a vaccine is in place, until certain actual national guidelines are in place on how businesses are supposed to operate with this stuff, as people, we already pay a ton in workers' comp and things like that, even for people who are private contractors. How do we protect the people who are coming in? How do we make them feel comfortable? And how do we make ourselves feel comfortable as people who are being very careful and protecting ourselves a lot?
Yeah, to go from having nobody here to now having like 20 people a week. And it's like, okay, are we going to be fine?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if one person's coming in. We have no guarantees that the person we're about to sit a foot away from has taken all the precautions that we've been taking, and vice versa for them. We can tell them, but they don't know. There's definitely an ounce of, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, it's funny. I even had like a phone call with Lasercorn over the weekend, and we talked about this stuff for a little bit. And just, the difference in types of creators and stuff like that. And like, we could technically take everyone's temperature that comes in. But there's a lot of reports coming out now that only like 40% of people who even have symptoms have temperatures.
Yeah.
And then you can be asymptomatic and you could spread it to somebody else. And like Malika and I are both high risk. So it's tough. There is no normal right now. So I know a lot of people in our community, a lot of you, the second we start seeing things lifting just a little bit, you're going to be messaging me. And I guess I'm saying all this to preemptively tell you, like, we have a lot to figure out. We can't tell you. If they were to lift restrictions tomorrow, we're not going to turn around and then have everyone flood the studio again for RPGs.
Yeah.
We kind of can't. It's just too risky. And I don't think any of us here would be comfortable with that. Adam might be like, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to stay upstairs.
I ain't leaving my room for the next 18 months. But I think also from the talent side, like, I feel like a lot of the people that we know or have talked to at least have been pretty good at, like, socially distancing themselves. So I think even for them, it's a little terrifying to think, like, oh, tomorrow I can go back to Hyper RPG Studio and do an RPG with 5 other players. Do I feel good about that?
Right. We're literally breathing on each other right next to each other. So we have a lot to figure out and a lot to figure out as a company and how to move forward. And I want to talk to the Colloqucast especially, and I can only say that because it's my show. When this all first started happening, it was like, it's just going to be a pause. Whenever we come back, we come back. Whatever. We'll just pick up right where we left off. I don't think that's possible now. And I'm to the point now where I'm even thinking in my head of like, maybe I call that the end of season 2 and I plan and we strategize and we come back with Kolak again as a season 3 opener and we have a really good plan and we blow it out of the water instead of just trying to come back and act like, okay, because it kind of ended on a note where
back to the story. What happened?
Like it kind of ended on a note where I could sell it that that's a finale. A lot of big things happened. A lot of things were left like, oh no, it could be a big cliffhanger. Because I think the more we try to act like things can just go back to normal, that's kind of dumb. There is no normal now.
Yeah.
Things are different.
Like, it would be almost crazy to incorporate what's going on, not necessarily coronavirus, but like an idea or concept like that directly played into the story. So then when everybody sees each other again, it's like, dude, we haven't seen each other in months. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a lot to figure out. So I just want to kind of preemptively tell everybody that I hope you're enjoying the content we're doing now. I hope you're enjoying getting to know the crew better. We're working really hard to hopefully keep you engaged and keep you happy. We would love to get back to the content we love making. We're storytellers. We're creators. I don't like being on camera, especially when I've been like screaming and yelling, running up the stairs all day dealing with tech. I don't want to sit here on camera. This is the last thing I want to do. I want to pay an actor to do it. I want somebody else to sit here and put on a smile. And if they enjoy the attention, they're extroverts. Let them do it.
Oh, my God.
That's what I want. But things are different now. And, we have to adapt. We have to evolve or die. And we are working really hard on our end to protect ourselves for the year and come up with some ideas and business opportunities to kind of help us survive all this, as everyone should be if they run a small company, because there is no normal. And whatever you think you were able to do, it's not like tomorrow you just all of a sudden go back to whatever it was you were doing before all this happened, because it's still here.
Yeah.
And it's not going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
It's here. And things are different now, and we got to really figure it out. So I just want everyone to be aware. Don't flood me with messages the second things start getting a little less restrictive and be like, when's this happening? When's that happening? We'll tell you when we can. We're working our butts off to figure it out. And I hope that what we're giving you in the meantime, suffices and you're having a good time. And it's funny because I feel like people will... The vocal people who really love individual things, the people who really love Kolak, the people who really love Warhammer, I know you miss those things. And they will vocally get very loud and tell me like how much they miss those things and they want them back. We want them back. But we also use analytics a lot and data a lot in our decisions. And analytically, more people are watching us chill and have a good time than you were watching our RPGs. Outside of Kolak. Kolak is the one exception. Kolak did really well. But even, Warhammer, on a good night's pulling in 180 viewers. So, we really look at those things, and we know how much people love them. We have pounds and pounds of Warhammer shit sitting in the corner that we want to put to use. But we also aren't going to, put the cart before the horse. We're gonna be smart. And we're going to figure out the best route forward to slowly start reintroducing these things in the best way possible and try to take this as a blessing, if in any way we can, to learn about what we were doing before and adapt. And I think we've learned a lot as content creators in this quarantine. We've learned a lot about what you all show up for, what you get excited by, how sometimes maybe we were pushing ourselves to do the wrong thing based on just a couple loud voices, instead of just trusting our guts and doing what, communicating and creating stronger community and getting closer to the chat. I think some things have worked really well. And some things I want us to keep whenever we come out of this. I think Malika cooking is awesome. I mean, I get fed, but it looks cool. It's great. I think, exploring more with that, getting back to doing IRL again, I think would be awesome. I love what we're doing with Cookie Quest and the tech that we've been working on with that. I think that's something we can expand on and do even more cool shit with. Oh, man.
It's so fun that I spend way too much time on it.
Yeah, you stayed up all night building a quest. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Well, because it's so hard, because it's one of those things that I have a really big passion about the concept. And I think it's such a cool idea. And I know that if we were able to utilize in a bigger... for something bigger or doing something more with it, that I know could be really fucking cool and something that I've not seen anybody do yet to that caliber, especially doing it live. I think it's so incredibly fun. So there you go, Lucas. Good luck. Have fun out there in the world. Yeah, it's it also seems like we're 8 weeks into this and a lot of people are kind of over it and they're done, which I get. I understand.
I'm this close.
I get that people have been at home for probably, 4 to 8 weeks and they're going mad. They're stir crazy. And I see it, we all see it. We see it in the news of people, going outside, which no one has ever discouraged people from going outside. At no point ever has the governor or anybody ever said, you're locked in your house forever. You can't leave. Don't even go outside to try to breathe some air because it's not a thing. You can go outside for a walk. You can go outside and get some air. We do it every single day. But I think, we still have to just continue to remember to practice good social distancing, keep a good distance from other people. Even my mom texted me the other day. She's like, I feel terrible for even saying this, but I have this huge temptation to go to the beach, to just walk around on the sand and put my feet in the water. I'm like, look, if you go, as long as you keep a good distance from people and bring your mask with you, you should be fine.
And go to some place that other people aren't.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me.
There's plenty of beaches in San Diego.
Don't go to where everyone's going. I can go on a bike ride.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean...
I walk every weekend. Emily and I have been doing walks every weekend, and we just go and we look for neighborhoods that don't have a lot of people, and then we find them. We're like, great. There's 2 people walking around this whole block. It's fine. We'll be okay.
And I want to call out, Moss Brethren posted something in the chat, and that's kind of exactly the language I'm trying to prep you for it. It's like he says, it'd be cool if this format could become the new schedule for Fridays when things go back to normal. Even your statement there. Things aren't going back to normal. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. There is no normal. The world is different now. We've learned a lot. We're going to have to change our practices. We have a lot of discovery to happen. Will shows like Kolak come back? Eventually, yes. Will shows like Warhammer come back? Eventually, yes. Is our network now moving forward forever different because of this? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've learned a lot. And we've changed our systems a lot. And I think some of these changes have been for the better. What I want you guys to understand is it's not like you're sitting here and being like, oh, when things go back to normal. We're Hyper RPG. You got Cookie, you got Malika, you got us too. At the end of the day, like we are Hyper RPG. And we will always be people who want to bring our friends in to make awesome content. But at the end of the day, the blood, sweat, and tears, we are Hyper RPG. This is us. And that is the normal. That's the constant. That's the thing that won't be changing and never will. Like, we are the heart. We are the soul of this as well as the community. So that to me is the normal. This idea of like schedules change, content changes. But as far as the creative minds and the efforts and the heart of it all, that's here. And we are that. That is our company. And that's the normal. That's what's staying the same. But yeah, nothing's going back to normal. It can't.
Yeah.
You just fucking can't.
I mean, everything. There's not a singular thing that's going to go everything. Whether it's a sporting event, a movie theater, a family event, whatever the hell it is, it's all going to be different. It's all going to be different no matter what. I mean, like, we've all got birthday parties coming up, and we all know that, like, cool, it's not going to be a birthday party. It's going to be a hangout, whether it's, us four here in the house and Zooming in other people or whatever.
I wanted to let you know, I know your birthday's coming up.
It's not for another month.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm getting ready for it.
What?
I'm just letting you know.
I love how you and Emily are both like, I'm already getting ready for it. I'm like, it's just my 33rd. I'm not turning 40.
I already decided what I'm getting you, but I have no money, so.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to get me an empty piece of paper.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay.
Malika's got plans. Or not Malika, sorry. Emily in the chat says, I've got plans.
Oh, God.
Big plans.
I'm terrified. I don't even want to know.
My birthday's next Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
Malika asked me, what do you want for your birthday more than anything? And I got really silent and just kind of stared forward. I was driving at the time, and she's like, you want a day off, don't you? And I was like...
That's hilarious.
Like, I know the chat's going to want to do something, but... day off.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, I know. Gaika immediately is like, give him a day off. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. If I take the day off, we ain't doing shit here. Everybody else gets a day off, too, because I've built out the system at this point where if I was like, hey, Adam, run the stream today, he would rightfully look at me and be like, I don't know what the fuck you've done over here. Everything's plugged in different. Everything's changed. I'd be throwing him to the wolves.
Yeah, that's the thing that terrifies me about coming back out of all this. When we start regular shows at some point, I'm going to be like, the fuck did you do back here?
Yeah. And Moss Brethren, I'm not coming down on you. I was just letting you know. I was using your statement as an example as to say, like, our setup right now and saying, like, when things get back, maybe the Fridays. I feel like it's more like this is closer to our new normal, and we start sliding shows back into it. Not so much that we just go back to some old schedule and then slide what we're doing now into that. It's more like this is now who we are. We are Camp Social Distance for the moment, you know? And I was telling Adam last night, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if all of 2020 is Camp Social Distance until a vaccine is built, because that's the smart thing to do. There's no vaccine.
And you're just going to get crazier and crazier.
And we're just going to keep getting crazier.
Week 27. That's probably what's going to end up happening. But yeah, I think that's going to be like it's a lot of consideration for how we do stuff in the future. And I think now we're thankfully at a point where, like, okay, IRL streams are a possibility now. It can't be an overly complicated thing with a lot of people. But we can at least like send one person out to go do a thing for a couple hours, and it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it'll be really interesting to see the evolution of kind of what's happening. I mean, I went to the grocery store for the first time on yesterday? Yes. I don't remember anymore. And it was amazing to go to a grocery store that's like fully stocked.
Yeah.
Like that was amazing to me. That was a revelation. And just even seeing like how I went to Trader Joe's and just seeing how they're handling everything and how it's so organized and clean. I'm just like, dude, this is how it's going to be forever going forward.
Yeah,
probably.
and I don't think when I say that I think 2020 will be camp social distance, I don't mean that we're going to be locked in our garage for all of 2020. I think it's more just accepting that life is different now, and you're going to be told, okay, fine, go out of your house, but at the same time, that comes at a risk.
Yeah.
And people have to understand you have to still practice these safe things.
Yeah.
Wash your fucking hands. Wear a mask. Stay 6 feet apart from strangers, you know, like.
I mean, we went to the drive-in on Saturday, and like everyone, even just like parking your cars, everybody was just like, cool. 6 feet. Everyone was like in a big circle talking.
It was so clear. Like people would come in a group with trusted friends, and they would park next to each other.
Yeah.
But then everyone else was like, "I don't know you." Space away.
Yeah.
Moving over here.
Yeah.
You know.
Even just walking through the parking lot to go use the restroom. Once you're in the restroom, it's a different story because it's tight.
I refused to go use that restroom.
I know. I like got to the point where I was like, I have to go. I also didn't want to go either, and I was like, I have to go. I have to desperately go, and I'm just gonna suck it up. Thankfully, they were like in the middle of cleaning it, so there was not as many people in there.
Yeah.
But even the way like their concession thing was organized, they had 6 feet apart for people, 3 people at a time, like very, very organized. And like
I don't see that changing in 2020, and I don't want it to.
I agree. I mean, to be totally honest, the fact that going to Trader Joe's, it was a set amount of people and everything was so organized, like everybody where they went in line, it just made the shopping experience so much less chaotic. And I think the first 3 weeks it was pure chaos because nobody really knew how
Systems
to like
are coming
quickly
into place now,
adapt to it. Yeah. But I think now most, grocery stores and or stores in general have figured out, okay, here's our system. This is how it's going to work. And they've done a really good job maintaining that. And I agree. I don't necessarily want it to change. I feel good about the fact that I go into Trader Joe's and I'm like, dude, I feel so good walking out of there. I don't feel icky. I don't feel gross. I don't feel like anything's out of place. Like everyone was just like gloves,
and as long as consumers keep expressing that.
Yeah.
But I do understand that I think Los Angeles is unique.
Yeah.
In that regard, it's and then you hear like so fucked up stories coming out of places in the other parts of the country. Like a security guard got shot.
I just saw that this morning
for asking someone to put on a mask before coming into the store. Like
wild.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Just mind-blowing. And I think this should be the new normal. This isn't, this is no longer about whether or not you believe in vaccines or bullshit like that.
Yeah.
It's like keep everyone healthy and safe for as long as we can.
Yeah.
The death toll is continuing to rise. A new study just revised it and said now they're estimating 130,000 Americans. This thing is like, it's like, oh, we're doing good. And then, all these states are loosening restrictions. Let's shoot that thing right back up.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's fucking sad, man.
Yeah, I got that text from my mom this morning, and I just looked at it, and I was like, and what would drive someone to have that sort of a response to someone asking you something so easy? Hey, we're looking to protect the people around you and yourself. Please put on a mask. Ugh. It's so infuriating and so frustrating, and I don't know. But I really do hope, like, just emphasizing the idea of, good social distancing is still important. It matters. It makes a difference. And I'm thankful that, like, 99% of the people around me that I know are practicing good social distancing. They're wearing masks. They're wearing gloves. They're being responsible whenever they go out and they do stuff or run errands.
Our bank forgot to process our bill pay for rent, by the way.
Every fucking time.
And now Malika's probably trying to send a wire, and that's why she's been texting me. But yet, I don't have that app. That app's not on my phone. We put it on your phone.
For a reason, but it's not been going through. Just give me your phone, and I'll impersonate you.
Okay. Malika's impersonating me now at the bank. You saw it now.
You heard
nothing.
Saw it live. You heard nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing.
But I've cleared her to talk to the bank like 10 times. And every time they're like, are we cleared to talk to you? Have we set that up yet? Yes.
We have. You probably have not because you're useless. Useless. You guys have the worst luck. I'm like, yeah, well, it happens quite a bit. But yeah, I want to do a little bit of catching up on things that I missed in the last couple days. I think, Monday through Friday, we do a really good job of keeping on track of like what's going on. We're usually listening to the news and getting updates and stuff. Saturday and Sunday, I get to a point where I'm kind of like, I need to turn my brain off for a little bit, and I just need to chill out.
Yeah.
I'm actually really glad. So we went to go see Knives Out, and we listened to the movie with Ryan Johnson's audio commentary.
We did too. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So neat. Absolute best way.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Having the movie on the radio, and I just put my phone up on the dash.
That's exactly what I did.
And that commentary was so good.
Yeah, there's two. So they have two versions of it. If you own Knives Out, they have a in-theater commentary, which is just Ryan Johnson. That's also on the Blu-ray. And then the other commentary they have, it's Ryan Johnson, Steve Yedlin, and Noah Segan. But the in-theater one is very specifically designed for in the theater.
Yep.
It's so good. I highly recommend if you want to rewatch the movie, even if you already have it at home, it doesn't matter.
It was really good. It was a really neat, he didn't get too technical, but he shared some really good insights. I loved how much he geeked out over his actors.
Yeah.
Because he has so many amazing actors in that movie. And it was just like every time it was that actor's first time on screen, he would just start gushing about them. And how great they were to work with. And, some of the insights were great, and little tricks that they had to do to make things work a certain way. I also loved how he was pointing out attentions to detail that we didn't notice.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I put that thing there.
Lower right-hand corner.
The jug is not in the background because that's the jug he's going to use. And I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
You never cut back to his apartment after.
No. It's just you either see it there or you don't.
You would never, ever. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really well done. If you haven't seen Knives Out, highly recommend it. A lot of people compare it to things like Clue. It's got a clue-ness to it, but it also takes a very different direction and does its own thing, and it's really, really, really good. So if you haven't seen it yet, I definitely recommend it. It's a good movie. And he retweeted me, so I get bragging rights for a little bit, which I thought was really cool. He was like, this is the perfect way to experience this. I was like, thanks, Ryan.
Come talk to us.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Another thing I wanted to talk about today that kind of dropped right before we went live. Do y'all think New Mutants is coming to Amazon Prime?
Dude, yeah. What the flip is that?
Did you? Okay, if you guys didn't notice, this just started trending on Twitter. If you go to Amazon Prime and you search for New Mutants, it's available to buy for pre-order. But there's no date listed.
Yeah.
And it's $25.
Yeah.
And which sounds like, because 25 is high.
It is high.
So that sounds to me like buying as if it was a theatrical release.
Yeah, yeah. And I know I've seen some Twitter accounts, they've been posting photos from the movie, brand new stuff that's come out. And I'm like, okay, so are we getting a new trailer soon that's going to announce this? Where are these photos coming from? So yeah, I know we talked about it continuously about movies that are coming to the theatrical release or movies that are just going to get released digitally. At this point, I kind of feel like it's just advantageous for Disney, Marvel to just put the damn movie out digitally. Why continue to prolong this? Why? What for? Your movie's done. Movie's totally done. Movie was supposed to come out. Just get through it. And the only reason why I have a different argument for New Mutants versus something like Black Widow's a part of a bigger interconnected universe. So for that, I'm like, cool. If you push that back, fine. I don't want Black Widow to be the one movie out of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe that had to force itself to go digital. Because I think it sucks for the character. And I think at this point, Black Widow deserves that theatrical release. Something like New Mutants, though, that I imagine is going to be very self-contained and just exist in its own world. Fuck it. If people are going to pay $20 to $25 to rent it or own it or whatever, then fuck it. Just put it out there already.
Yeah.
Just put it out into the world. I know we're going to buy it. If it comes out, we're going to get it and we're going to watch it and we'll talk about it and all that sort of stuff. So it'll still get the coverage that it would get theatrically. I guess that maybe it just comes down to the price point. I know we talked about last week of if I'm paying $20 to $25 to just rent it, but in my country or in my state or city, my movie tickets are $9, then I'm like, I get it. So I don't know.
Huge shout out to Sundance Kid 23789. Thank you so much for your support. Absolutely unreal. Getting really close to our first giveaway for the day. It's going to be.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's going to be.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're 42%.
Did I just write new Tootin's up there?
New Tootin's?
Okay.
New Tootin's coming to Amazon, baby.
Cool.
Yeah, but this week is Malika's Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, and what that means for those that aren't aware, every time we hit a goal here at Hyper RPG, we give a winning spot away to a private entry into one of our clubhouses. And what that means is at the end of the week, over the weekend, we take some of our time to spend with you, with a small group of people, whether it's watching movies together, playing games together, as just a way to kind of build community and get even closer for some one-on-one time with us. And it's been really fun. Lucas watched Futurama last night.
Oh, cool.
I watched Little Women the week before, and it's been really fun. It's been a good time.
And there's like so much stuff that continues to come out that like even thinking about like, oh man, because it's mine next week, and I'm like, which is crazy. I can't believe the month already flew by. Holy shit. But I'm now trying to think like, okay, what could I watch that's maybe not a movie or a doc or something? I don't know. It's just like a fun opportunity for us also to kind of think about like, well, what do we want to show the audience? What do we think the audience would really like to check out that like we're passionate about and stuff? So I think doing the Clubhouse is really, really fun.
Yes, and you do leave the Clubhouse channel after a week if you get because it resets. That's the whole idea. If we just kept giving away because we have such a few low amount of concurrents that watch every week, by the end of all this, every single person in the chat would be in there. You know, like it would be close. It would be close. So it's like a special thing every new week that is a new person's Clubhouse.
It is obviously May the 4th. I am celebrating Star Wars. I'm super pumped. I think I got all my Star Wars in while we were, while I was working last night. But they also did announce that Taika Waititi is going to be directing.
Wait. You got all your Star Wars in while you were working last night?
Yeah, because I was watching on TV.
Oh.
What did you think I meant?
I thought you were like, did you bought Star Wars and Star Wars came in last night?
No. I was watching Clone Wars on that doc last night, which was really, really fun. This morning they announced that Taika Waititi will be directing a brand new Star Wars movie that is set for theatrical release, which I'm pretty pumped about. He's going to be co-writing it.
That's one of the big announcements from today.
For Star Wars?
No.
Oh.
The other big announcement is that Nick Cage is playing Tiger King.
Oh, you saw it. Okay. I wasn't sure if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I don't really care. I really don't. I don't care. But no, continue.
I'm super excited about this. You know, I'm really curious, obviously, where this is going to fall into the schedule because Taika's obviously super busy right now working on Thor: Love and Thunder. Whether or not it's filming is kind of inconsequential because he still has to write the damn thing.
Yeah.
And he just talked about how having more time is actually going to be hugely beneficial because he'll be able to really sort of finesse the script out a lot better. So I'm really excited about him doing Thor: Love and Thunder, but I'm also equally excited for him to do a new Star Wars movie.
Dude.
The final episode of Mandalorian was so good.
Dude.
What just happened?
John Allenson, peak 1, dead.
All these things go by so quick, I missed them all.
Dude.
I'm going to scroll back up.
Thank you. Dudettes.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Damn.
You okay, dude?
Dude. You okay, dude? Yeah, dude.
As far as the Tiger King casting, for once, and I say this, I have to agree with Fadior. And that's not something you'll hear me say often, but I agree with Fadior in that show is going to be a legal nightmare. It's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
You know, the Netflix show already was a mess, and because certain people who are presented on the Netflix show have already come out and been very against the way they were portrayed in the Netflix show, now getting all the rights and getting everything to work out for the TV show, and it's going to be a mess. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is such a mistake. It's just a mistake.
I still haven't watched it, so I'm kind of just going based off of what everyone's been saying about this show. Well, mostly just you and Malika. And again, you know, not knowing what the context of the show was, and then seeing what it was just from people explaining it to me, I was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. And then I see this news of Nicolas Cage playing this character in a movie, or it's going to be a series actually. I just sat there and I thought, like, okay, I get trying to capitalize off the hype of something, but there's so many other better things.
And it's honestly, it's like it's too soon.
Yeah.
Like, it's influencing current like political drama with like small town politics kind of stuff. Like he's currently like in jail, and people are already trying to like get him out of jail.
Yeah.
Because what? He's a piece of shit, and he deserves to be in jail. You know, like there was a trial. When you watch a Netflix show, certain things are it's a documentary. Certain things are gonna be, it's not legally binding. He was on trial and he's in jail for shit that he did that was really fucked up.
Yeah.
And this is just giving that guy so much attention, and
I think it also like really spins the perspective of the whole thing too, because people are gonna watch. They'll be like, "Oh, how cool! They're making a show about this guy," and it's like, no, it's not cool. He didn't necessarily do good things. So what are you rooting him for?
Yeah, he did not do good things, and he was a terrible person.
Yeah.
And I think that there could be a show or a movie made about this, but I feel like wait 20 years. Literally, like 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
And then come back to it after there's more information and we have a little better understanding of it all.
Yeah.
To just ride off of a Netflix documentary's popularity feels so short-sighted.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you're forgetting the main reason it blew up. We were all just put into quarantine that week.
Yeah.
That was the week we all got slammed into quarantine across the country. I honestly don't believe the show would have been as cultural phenomenon as it was if we weren't in the middle of one of the biggest what the fuck pandemics ever, and everybody's just like shell-shocked.
I guess I'm watching something on Netflix, I guess.
Or just that attitude of being so like, I need something so crazy right now. That's not my problem.
Right. That's even crazier than what I'm dealing with.
To like get through, whatever, like this hard to believe kind of craziness. It dropped at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy, we don't need to see it in TV show form because it will look stupid. It will seem stupid. It's so hard to translate that stranger than fiction type stuff to actual. It'll just be dumb as shit.
Yeah.
I think Nick Cage is a great casting.
Of course. But
I don't want to see this show.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking see this.
I want to see Nick Cage do something else.
I don't want to see this at all. I have no interest.
Yeah.
Even a little bit.
Yeah. I don't either. I mean, I haven't even had it. I'm so not enthusiastic about even watching the show, the Netflix documentary. So why am I even going to waste my time watching a show about it? Obviously there will be people who will eat it up. There always will be people that will eat it up, but it's just not something that excites me.
I mean, there always will be, but I don't think it'll be big enough numbers to actually matter.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. No, I agree.
This shit, because like a lot of documentary type stuff like this that blows up, stuff like that, a year from now it will be forgotten. It will be forgotten, and people will be on to the next crazy thing.
Yeah, for sure. So
I mean, it's already been 10 years since we saw it, right?
Right.
That was the beginning of March, end of February. Like it's
15 years ago.
Been fucking 10 years already.
Yeah, it's been a decade and a half.
People have already fucking forgotten and moved on to something new.
Exactly. But yeah, so whatever happens with that project happens with that project. But I am pumped to see the other project coming to fruition. It'll probably be a few years before we see Taika Star Wars movie, but it's being co-written by the writer of 1917, which is really, really cool.
Do you think that all just came about from how positively done his Mandalorian episode was?
I know that there were a couple trades that were reporting, I think a month or so ago, that Lucasfilm was looking to bring on Taika as a director. I'm sure that Mandalorian helped tremendously because of his working relationship with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. But I can't imagine that they didn't look at Thor Ragnarok and go, oh, this director can surprisingly direct a really fun space opera. We should get him for Star Wars. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me.
His episode of Mandalorian was easily my favorite.
Yeah, it was so good. What a way to end that show.
It was so funny how
season.
What I thought was amazing was to have so many episodes in the middle that were just kind of like, And I wonder if Waititi has this, like, because he's so charming and his charisma is just so. I wonder if he just can manipulate the studio system better than most. Because I feel like I see him always doing these things where there's all these other restrictions for other directors, and then he comes in and forces his brand into it.
Yeah.
And like his episode had some of the goofiest stuff, but it needed it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't goofy for goofy's sake. It was literally funny.
Yeah.
Like the stormtroopers were hilarious in his episode. The shots of little baby Yoda going, like it was good. It was funny.
He's able to inject a lot of Taika into it successfully.
It's so him.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the other directors who do have strong voices, like so much of them seems to be get left out, and he somehow figures out how to push through.
Yeah, and I wonder, I wonder if what you're saying about his personality is a huge factor into why that happens. Because I was watching that documentary, and just the energy that he gives off and the energy that he has. Emily and I were even watching the bloopers for Thor Ragnarok, and like, there is not a single person in any of those videos, and not that they would anyway, but they say these things with so much enthusiasm when they talk about Taika and his creative input and how he's just like such an easygoing director. And I know Hemsworth has talked about it to no end, how like working with Taika on Thor made him so excited for the character again, because he kind of almost didn't want to do Thor after he did the second Thor movie and after he did the Avengers films, the first two at least. Like he lost enthusiasm for the character a little bit, and having somebody like Taika reinvigorated all that. So I think when you have someone who can bring that energy and enthusiasm to a film production, and then they bring in their enthusiasm of like Star Wars and comic books and science fiction and fantasy, then I can't imagine being a studio being like, God, this guy's nuts, but like we want him to make his movie because I think we can really fully trust what he's going to do. And I also do hope that whatever Taika's doing is not connected to anything else. Like even if it's like one standalone movie, fine. You know, like I would be totally okay with it being just one standalone film. Or if it sets up a trilogy, cool. But again, as always, I don't want it to tie back into the Skywalker saga in any way. Do something different. Do something unique. Let Taika be Taika.
Yeah, let him do his
thing. If it's a fucking buddy comedy with two stormtroopers, I'm fine with it.
Oh my God, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Give me a buddy cop stormtroopers movie.
Right?
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like, I'd be totally okay with that. I'm in. And it's him and Jermaine Clement. It'd be fucking incredible. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
They're already New Zealanders.
Oh God, it would be perfect. I want that so bad.
Yeah. It'd be amazing.
Stormtroopers are just so, like, perfect for that.
Yeah, it's basically Troops the movie, but directed by Taika Waititi. Come on.
God, that would be
Who wouldn't
so
love
good.
that shit?
Man, especially just seeing how his Stormtroopers interacted in The Mandalorian, like,
yeah.
That'd be so good.
Yeah.
You got this whole big world out there, but it's just these two normal people.
Yeah.
God, it'd be so good.
It's this whole, like, overarching thing of this, like, whatever this new empire, new, you know, organization is, but then you have these, like, two fucking ding-dongs running, you know, security for something. I don't know. Like, I think it would be so good. I think it would be so good. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's exciting thing for me, at least. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff on social media today about Star Wars and you know, people celebrating all that stuff. It's early May has kind of become, or just May itself has become such a hub for amazing movies that have come out over the years. You know, we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back this year on May 21st. But today is also the 8-year anniversary of the first Avengers movie. Yesterday was the anniversary of Iron Man 3 and Spider-Man. The day before that, the anniversary of Iron Man. You know, so there's like a lot of really cool stuff in fandom and nerd culture to be celebrating right now. And that's kind of like the thing that I definitely want. I feel like sometimes Twitter especially becomes very sort of, I don't know, negative about all these sorts of things. I would just say, hey, go celebrate the thing that you love this month and the rest of the year, because fuck it, 2020's canceled anyway.
Yeah, 2020's canceled, y'all. So, I mean, if you have any other news topics to talk about, we don't have anything to cut to other than me playing a game, so we can cover them. We can cover them if you got anything else to talk about. I don't think you all care. I think you'd prefer Adam and I shoot the shit for a little bit instead of watching me die in Gears. I will say, though, today on Gears, you can tip $25 for me to put you on my team. I'll literally make your character and put you on my team, and then you'll get sent out to die.
Oh, man.
I haven't lost a single soldier yet.
Wow.
I haven't lost a single soldier, so maybe you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be okay.
I did have a really good time watching It Comes at Night on Friday. That movie was really, really
strong.
Good. Really, really good.
I am crazy pumped to watch Old Boy with you tonight.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Holy shit, man.
I'm stoked.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I was telling him earlier, I haven't seen it in 10 years, but there was a time in college where I would watch that almost once a month. I'm worried there'll be things I don't like about it anymore, and I hate that. I hate growing up. I hate growing up and then being like, man, this doesn't work as well as I thought it did.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it so much. But I don't know, because it's Park Chan-wook and I know what I'm getting into, and his movies hit me in just the right ways with their cinematography, pacing, lighting, acting, you know, never takes itself too seriously while being some of the most seriously crafted things out there with really heavy topics.
Yeah.
It's exactly the kind of things I love in film, and it's one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen.
Okay.
I hope you've looked up nothing about the movie.
No.
Okay.
No. Anytime we watch a movie that I've never seen, I don't want to know jack shit about it because I think it ruins the experience if I go in knowing a bunch of stuff.
I'm wondering if you'll rage quit the ending.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty open to almost anything. Oh, fuck you, son of a bitch.
I'm just glad you said you feel like you're open to almost anything. We're going to question that later tonight.
Okay.
We're going to put that to the test, and I'll be like, so Adam, are you open to almost anything?
There's something I'm not going to ask because I don't want to know. I just want to watch the movie, and we'll find out. God damn it, Zach. Fuck. You guys got to put me in a tough spot. Elaki brought this up in the chat room. Yes, I am on a new episode of the Movie Trivia Schmodown. I am part of the swag team, and my partner for that was Liz Shannon Miller, and our team name is Rogue 2, and we went up against Jim Vejvoda and Jared Haben. Not Inner Geekdom, it's just regular movie trivia. That came out, I believe, on Friday. It's out there. It's available. You can just search Rogue 2 versus The Wicked, Movie Trivia Schmodown. You'll be able to find it on YouTube. But I recommend you guys check it out later, once we're done streaming. Or watch it tomorrow morning early before we start. Don't do it right now.
Watch it in the morning.
Don't do it right now. Let's talk about it tomorrow.
We're here all day for you all.
Yeah.
All day for you.
I would love to try to get Zach onto the Movie Trivia Schmodown, but he's convinced he would not do well.
I don't do trivia. I do theory.
Yeah.
I'm not a trivia brain. I'm a theory brain. Big picture, arcs, things like that. I don't remember trivia. It's not a snob thing. It's not how my brain works. I can't remember details about little things.
Like you're not necessarily worried about like, oh, what year did Old Boy come out? It's like, no, it's like, what's the theme of the movie?
2003, but only because
this motherfucker. Oh God. I think you would do. Oh, maybe I don't know, but I agree though because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you should be good at trivia. You watch a lot of movies." I'm like, yeah, but not everybody works that way.
Yeah,
like not everybody's sitting there analyzing like, "Oh, that red cup went over to that corner."
When you're friends with Hector, so I might be better than trivia than a lot of people. People who don't pay attention to certain kinds of things. But when you're friends with Hector, you feel like you're awful at trivia because his brain only does trivia.
Yeah.
He's like an encyclopedia, and he calls upon this thing and this thing and this thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but did you like it?
I'm gonna throw him under the bus right now, just a little bit. When I asked Hector to watch Parasite, and I was super pumped to hear his take on it, and I asked him, he's like, I didn't really like it. I was like, I think we're done here. I think we're done here.
Yeah, he's got an encyclopedia brain.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself the type of person that has trivia like
it's not
I don't recall
brain,
things like that.
Yeah, it's not what your brain absorbs.
It's not what I'm focusing on. When I'm watching a movie, it's usually like, and I'm also not the kind of person that I love thinking about filmmaking, but I'm more likely to, like after a movie comes out, I think some people get really into researching the lore, the behind-the-scenes stuff, how it ties into these things, like especially Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
You know, they'll tell you like, oh, that's this kind of species, and it shows back up at this part, and that's this thing which ties into here. I'm more likely to then be like, ooh, what camera did they use, and what techniques went on behind the scenes, you know, that kind of stuff. I get more interested in that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like the in-between of you and Hector.
I think you are, for sure.
Because there's definitely a lot of stuff that I absorb, but it's not necessarily that I'm looking for it. It's just stuff that interests me, you know? Like, I noticed that there's like a character in the background doing a certain thing with you know, another character, and it's not because I'm looking for it. It's just because like I notice it because I saw it and I'm like, oh, I remember it.
Yeah.
Or I remember what actors are in what movie or what year they come out or like what camera they use. But I also really care about like, oh, like what's the theme and like what's the story and what's the difference between the plot and the story and how do those things like interconnect or does it like explain it well or whatever. I think there are varying types of people, and I think like you, me, and Hector are kind of like the perfect encapsulation of like
it's true. There's the different stages.
Yeah,
for sure. You are definitely right that you're kind of in the middle between the two of us with how you jump between those two areas. I mean, Hector's the extreme one way.
Yeah,
I'm kind of the extreme the other way.
Hector the technical stuff, yeah, it's just like not his forte.
No.
But like when it comes to remembering trivia about characters and dates,
he blows my mind sometimes with that stuff.
Yeah.
He'll just be like, oh, this thing and this thing and this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, oh, I read the encyclopedia on, like, literally, he reads encyclopedias about topics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
he owns the Marvel and DC encyclopedias, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So it's just different brains and how they work. It doesn't make me very good at trivia at all. I'm also super dyslexic, and I will not remember, like, certain movie names, actors, directors, that kind of stuff. It's just not how my brain works, man. We're all.
I feel like I think you, me, and Hector would be a really good team.
Yeah.
If there was like a varying landscape of like the artistic and the technical, I feel like we'd be like a triple threat.
Yeah.
We'd be a very good team.
Yep. You guys answer all the stupid Star Wars, Harry Potter, all that shit, all the stuff that
I don't know Harry Potter.
They always try to throw that shit at you, and I'm just like, man, I don't know anything. Yeah. They'll throw some obscure Star Trek thing in there. I'm like, I don't
what was the 15th ship in the 32nd convoy? And you're like, I'll fucking know.
Why?
The USS I don't give a fuck.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I know.
Seriously, though. Well, I think I'm going to play some Gears. We're at 62% for the day, which is amazing because I know we're not playing board games today.
Yeah, and I don't know what Malika's doing, but I'm intrigued as fuck.
Yeah, I was about to say she's measuring things for insurance stuff.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
We have to change our insurance provider. Man. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Because our last broker was dog shit. Okay, good. Did
I just have to point out that
did you see that email from the bank though that I forwarded you?
I've seen it before. So.
What the hell?
I think it's just worth pointing out that like when we talk about how like everyone here has like 10,000 different things to do, the fact that Malika has to go measure the fucking room, it's just like what a waste of time. But it has to be done.
Has to be done. She has to get our new insurance stuff set up because our last broker that we've been paying for a really long time, we found out wasn't actually covering us in California. Despite, again, we update everyone, we update all these things, and then we start diving deeper into our insurance stuff, and they're like, oh, by the way, even though you've been paying us for the last 2 years, we haven't set you up. Your quote doesn't cover California. I'm like, but we told you we moved. And then we're like, yeah, but that was covering Seattle. No, we moved out of Seattle. Oh, well, yeah, this quote doesn't cover you then. You have to get a new one. Well, okay, can you send us back some how much is that going to cost?
Prorate us or some shit?
Yeah, can you prorate us because you've been charging us for apparently something that we couldn't have been able to use? And then they sent us back quotes, and it was like double what we were already paying. So we're like, no, goodbye. We're going to find a new insurance broker. You done. We're out.
Guys, the world is a scam.
Dude, it is. It is. Running a small business is so annoying because you just discover like most of the things that are built that you're supposed to need are designed to fuck you.
Yeah.
They're just designed to fuck you.
And it's even more irritating when you see like how many things people get away with, not doing things certain ways. Like I'm always curious, and I'm always reading stuff, and I'm always on Instagram reading things and all that sort of stuff, and you read about the ways of like people manipulating the system to get more money, and you're like, man, everybody else gets fucked because of these people.
Dude, man, I don't want to get started on it because I'll just go off forever. The amount of shit Malika and I have to deal with just to like, we just want to make art with our friends. Like that is the base level of what drives us. We want to make cool art with our friends, and so much shit makes that so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
With the dumbest stuff.
Yeah.
Stupid things. Like we dropped ADP. We're done. Bye ADP. You guys. They kept hiding charges on us. They would try to force us to increase our workers' comp, even though we were already paying. Like, we have a legal team, and this legal team will come back at us and be like, no, they're trying to charge you for shit you shouldn't have to be paying for. And ADP will try to strong-arm us and get us to believe that there's these California laws that are saying you have to do things this way. And we're like, we have an entire team of lawyers over here keeping us up to date on everything, and they just kept trying to sneak in more and more charges. I'm like, we're a small company. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You are eating us alive.
Yeah.
Eating us alive. We would just get random like $6,000 charge. and it would be on our invoice, and we'd see it taken out of our account. And that was the thing, because ADP is like directly linked into your bank account.
Yeah.
They'll just take money out.
Yeah.
And then we always get it back after we fight it. But the amount of time Malika would spend fighting these charges,
exhausting.
It's so dumb. I hate it. We got some great lawyers. I'm not going to lie. Like, and this is something Malika's been able to set up since she took over that I could have never done. And this is where, like, having her in charge is such a huge benefit to Hyper. Because I can't play that game like she can. And she found us a great legal team. And it's the amount of things I was getting fucked.
Yeah.
You know, like, I give people way too much benefit of the doubt. And I will get frustrated when I learn how we're getting fucked, but I'm not the kind of person that dives deep enough into everything to see if it's even happening. Mm-hmm. And one thing Malika's done really well is kind of like dive deep into every little thing and then be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. And then I'm like, oh my God, fuck these people.
Yeah.
I have been
I'm getting fucked.
Oh my God.
15 ways to Sunday.
Yeah, so it's like our attorney's friends with their CPA and friends with our financial advisor. They're all like a group that work together. So we've got this great team right now who's helping us navigate all these different spaces and have been saving us a lot of money. Like, it's expensive to have a good legal team, but the amount of money they've been saving us, it's exhausting. But we got a new payroll company now, and it's been working for you and Lucas, right?
I mean, I think we've only had
one payroll,
but yeah, it's great because they like text you or email you. I think either one of the two of like, hey, you got paid, and I'm like, oh well, this is nice to know that at least I get a notification that when my pay goes through. So that's always pretty good.
Yeah, they actually like tell you what's up.
Yeah,
that's great. ADP wouldn't do shit, man.
No, sometimes I look and I'm like, this isn't enough money.
Malika had to like call and complain to them. In the sense of like, you guys aren't sending us invoices to even show us what you're charging. We have to find these charges by diving deep and kind of like we had to keep, in a way, it's almost like you're vetting every little thing they do.
Yeah. Malika says it's called leaking. Mm-hmm. Sounds like ADP needs a diaper.
Yeah, it's so time consuming. Yeah. And when she finally forced them to start sending us invoices for every little charge they're adding, the invoice that they sent was just like a bare like, your payroll costs this much. It's not even itemized. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. It's like getting a receipt from like a fucking high school kid. Jeez.
I know that there's some people in our Oh, yeah, Malika's like, it was a mystery code. Yeah. I know that there are some people in our community who run small businesses. We have an older audience, people who've formed their own companies. I know you feel our pain, but I have earned such a respect for what it takes to run a company over the last 5 years and look at a lot of things in a completely different light. And if you have a job at a small company and you're taken care of, every once in a while, just tell your boss thanks.
Yeah.
They're going through hell to do that. Like, the whole system is designed to encourage people to screw each other over. You know, it's like we're getting screwed over at the top, and you're just supposed to expect to then do everything in your power to then skim all that off of your employees. You know, it's just like this trickle down of fucking everyone over.
Yeah.
And they make it so hard to just be as ethical as possible.
Yeah.
It's like it's encouraging you to just fucking screw people over.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's dumb. It's dumb. You know what? I should probably change this title back to not say Nicolas Cage playing Tiger King because we haven't talked about that for the last half hour.
Yeah.
Week 8, camp, social distance.
Damn, Nagy.
What happened?
He says he thanked his CEO at New Year's Eve for the 100% company-covered health care since it basically kept him alive last year.
Damn. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. Yup.
Oh, yeah, you are supposed to be ethical. And I just wish there were more incentives for people to be ethical. Instead, I feel like the government keeps changing things to encourage you to not be ethical, to encourage you to cut corners.
Yeah.
Instead of...
Doesn't like me, I guess.
Well, yeah, okay. All right, cool.
Cool. I guess it's not going to update. Okay.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm supposed to be playing a game anyway.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm gonna go play some Gears of War. Don't go anywhere. And then we got Cookie Quest. You designed Cookie Quest today. This is the
spoilers.
How's that? We've been telling people every week.
Oh, okay, cool.
So Adam designed today's Cookie Quest.
Yeah.
He's heading to Hollywood, and Lucas is gonna need y'all's help. You Google fingers.
I'm pumped about it. I think I definitely I did a lot of overthinking about it because I know that
you did.
Hollywood just has so much going on, and I really debated of like, okay, where exactly do I want to take Lucas, and why do I want to highlight the things that I want to highlight? But I hope you guys have fun. I hope you enjoy it. I hope I didn't fuck it up too much.
Nah, I looked through it. It looks good. It looks good. It looks more informative than the ones Malika and I did. You probably spent too much time on
it. Probably. Oh, well. Have fun. Enjoy it.
Yep. Y'all have a great time. We're going to cut to a couple quick clips while I pee really fast. I didn't need to tell you that, but I just did. And then I'll be right back down here to play some video games with you.
I got to go too, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's not going to be anyone down here for a couple minutes.
It'll be fine.
Okay.